Hello and welcome to the news on NTA International. Coming to you live from Abuja, I am Habiba Oladipo. We begin with a look at the headlines. President Muhammadu Buhari tags the new group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation to sustain ongoing efforts at harnessing the nation's vast hydrocarbon resources. United Nations and Swiss-based diplomacy organization to build strategic mechanism towards ending farmers-herdsmen conflicts in Nigeria. Plus, Nigerian writers Leslie Nneka Arima wins Kane Prize for African Writing. Many thanks for being there. President Muhammadu Buhari is taxing the new group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Mele Kolokiari, to sustain the ongoing efforts at harnessing the nation's vast hydrocarbon resources towards enhancing Nigeria's economic fortunes for sustainable growth and development. This was while receiving in audience both the new GMD and his predecessor, Dr. Mikante Borough, in office. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo completes the story.
The new group managing director of the NNPC, Mele Kolokiari, accompanied by his predecessor in office, Mikante Borough, is meeting the president for the first time after the seamless takeover of the reins of power at the National Oil Company. During their meeting held behind closed doors, President Buhari noted that a lot has been achieved in the last 3 years across the oil and gas value chain, saying the industry must now be taken to the next level. Most importantly, he said, transparency, accountability, and probity must remain the watchwords as efforts are sustained towards making the critical energy commodities available, accessible, and affordable. The new GMD, Kolokiari, told newsmen shortly after that President Buhari's vision and mission for the oil and gas sector are very clear, unambiguous, and indeed achievable without compromise.
I understand the gravity of the assignment given to me. I understand the gravity of the trust that is associated with this work, and also the high expectations of Mr. President for us to make this company a global company of excellence and to deliver to the Nigerian citizenry the benefits of the oil and gas industry. I clearly understand this, and we're focused on making sure that we deliver this in the fastest possible way and in the most efficient way. I assure all of us that we'll do this job with integrity. I will ensure that at the end of the day, in 2023, Mr. President will look back and confirm that he has not misplaced his trust.
The former GMD, Mikante Borough, who presented to the president a compendium of his performance profile, expressed absolute confidence in the ability of the new leadership of the corporation to deliver on his mandate.
Perfect group, fully aligned, understand the government's program, Mr. President's aspirations and vision for the corporation. And what I will be expecting is that they will more than double what we've done. I'm not setting a high bar for them, but I know this team,
Buhari said, goes beyond the north and should be pursued holistically across Nigeria. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
British-born Nigerian writer Leslie Nneka Arima has won the Kane Prize for African Writing. Her winning satirical short story Skin focuses on the challenges faced by women in African communities dominated by traditional rituals. The story follows the fortunes of a gem who comes from a culture where girls are uncovered at a certain age and go naked until they are claimed by a husband. The 36-year-old told the Literary Hub that the idea came from a conversation about the difference between married and single women in Nigeria, as marriage gives unconventional women cover to be themselves. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari, on behalf of all Nigerians and the government, warmly congratulates the Nigerian writer Leslie Nneka Arima for winning the 2019 Kane Prize for African Writing. In a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, President Buhari felicitated with the writer of the literary masterpiece Skin, commending her for the depth and insight and skillfulness in bringing up issues of women inclusiveness, which continues to occupy the minds of leaders across the world, especially in Africa. And to legal matters now, the Presidential Election Petition Court has continued hearing on one of the petitions before it. The court has 3 petitions to adjudicate on within the constitutional stipulated time. Dele Atumbi has details.
In the petition of the PDP and its candidate, the petitioners have called additional 13 witnesses at Tuesday's court sitting. This brings to 19 the number of witnesses the petitioners have called out of the 400 witnesses they proposed in the matter. The witnesses who adopted their statements on oath as their evidence in chief were led in evidence by the counsel to the petitioners, Livy Uzouku, SAN. During cross-examination, counsel to INEC Usman Ustaz, SAN, counsel to President Muhammadu Buhari, Wole Olanipekun, SAN, and Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, of the APC put the witnesses to task on the allegations. One of the witnesses could not even recall the date presidential election was held in Nigeria. Their claims bordered on alleged overvoting, non-compliance with the Electoral Act in the conduct of the election, and inability to use card readers in some circumstances. 2 assistant presiding officers who claimed to have transmitted results to INEC server could not sustain their claim during cross-examination as they were confronted with the INEC manual that gave the job of transmission of results to presiding officers. The witnesses could not even tell the court the particulars of the server they purportedly transmitted results to. The PDP and its candidate are challenging the conduct of the presidential election in 11 states. National Chairman of the APC, Adams Oshiomhole, represented his party and President Muhammadu Buhari in the court, while Austin Akin Budu, the National Organizing Secretary of the PDP, represented the petitioners. After calling the 13 witnesses, the Presidential Election Petition Court adjourned for the hearing in the PDP petition to Thursday, 11th July 2019, while the court will commence hearing of another petitioner this Wednesday. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
And staying with legal matters, Nigeria has secured a ruling before the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea based in Hamburg, Germany. The ruling is a $14 million bond against a Swede flag oil tanker which violated Nigeria's maritime laws in January 2018. Judiciary correspondent Femi Okenwo has the details.
On the 23rd of January 2018, the Nigerian Navy arrested a Swiss-flagged vessel while undertaking a ship-to-ship transfer of oil right inside a platform within the exclusive economic zone of Nigeria without due authorization, contrary to the maritime regulations of Nigeria. The Swiss vessel, its cargo, and crew who
feelings and aspiration of Macban as a society.
With the incessant clashes between the two parties, the United Nations Development Programme UNDP and Center for Humanitarian Dialogue are coming as mediators towards addressing the challenge.
The forces that this country faces today and tomorrow do not distinguish between religion or ethnicity or trade. They will affect everyone, so we must all resolve to work together to address them. Without collective ownership, sustained engagement, and a willingness to put peace first, it will be difficult to achieve the desired peace we desperately look for.
This training under the auspices of the Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association is on dialogue and conflict management.
We look forward to enjoying more of this relationship. We look forward to enjoy more of the capacity building training.
Participants at the training are Mieti Allah leaders from 7 states that have histories of conflict between farmers and herders. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The African continent is richly endowed with natural resources and ranked first in quality of world reserves used for various things. Can I hear you say this is a blessing? Yes, I agree, but do you also know that mining of these resources are more of a curse to Africans, especially women? This is the reason for the Regional Consultative Meeting on Women Participation in the Extractive Industry. Basi Ita Ipan was there.
This conference of advocates in the extractive industry in Africa is turning its spotlight on women in mining communities with focus on the challenges in the continent. I came in contact with Hannah from Ghana, who was a victim and now an advocate. She said the effect of mining on women is enormous, affecting every aspect of human lives.
Mental degradation, the pollution of water bodies, the destruction of family cohesion, and because of mining, the family gets disintegrated and loses everything. Then mining can never be a blessing to African states.
Comlan, on his part, believes that the regional meeting in Nigeria will address these issues, as the situation is the same across Africa.
So all those things have been put together. We have more than 24 women coming from more than 10 countries in West Africa to advocate and to make sure that we have that awareness.
The environmental impact of mining, compensation, resettlements, and the ECOWAS Mining Act were discussed extensively as participants stressed the need for women to be involved in policy formulation, governance, and for their voices to be counted when it comes to whether or not their communities should be used for mining. Basi Taikbang, NTA News.
And for news from the financial sector, let's join Rachel Shoaibu.
Hello and welcome to Business News. The central bank says it's not drifting out of its mandates by investing in agriculture. Deputy Governor of the Apex Bank in charge of economic policy, Oku Joseph Nana, says with the uncertainty in the global oil business, only diversification can rescue oil exporting countries like Nigeria.
We need to create jobs. We need to feed ourselves. A nation that cannot feed itself is a nation in decline. We must cut down our import bill. I've seen our import bill rise from a couple of $1 million now into billions of dollars per annum.
The Special Presidential Investigation Panel for the Recovery of Public Property says an oil firm in Nigeria is indebted to the federal government to the tune of $1.6 billion, which translates to about 684 billion naira. According to the panel, the money represents the balance of the renewal fee of $2.5 billion for 3 oil blocks with 67, 68, and 70 oil mining leases, which the company has allegedly refused to pay since 2009. The nation's stock market on Monday witnessed a rebound as investors gained 7 billion naira. The stock market wraps up this segment. I am Rachel Shaibu.
Many thanks, Rachel. The ECOWAS Commission has applauded Nigeria's social investment programs as viable economy worthy of replication in the West African sub-region. This was when the Commission received a 10-man Dutch trade delegation at its headquarters in Abuja. Mitari Ikpen reports.
The Conditional Cash Transfer Scheme, Trader Money, Empower, and Homegrown School Feeding Program are popular components of Nigeria's social investment programs that are resonating with success stories across economic value chains. Vice President of the ECOWAS Commission, Finda Koroma, told the visiting Dutch Minister of Foreign Trade and International Cooperation and her delegation that ECOWAS will welcome the expertise of the Netherlands in instituting and expanding economic policies and strategies that will lift more women and youth out of poverty.
Nigeria has a standalone strategy which is being coordinated by His Excellency the Vice President, and he's very proud of his human capital strategy. So we will use Nigeria as a proxy for the rest of the member states, but the strategy will focus on 6 member states, even though it's going to deal with all 15, of course, 2 francophones, 2 anglophones, but we cannot leave Guinea-Bissau behind because that's the one country we need to move. So any help we get in that area would be very, very useful.
The Netherlands is renowned for expertise in agro-business and is willing to boost international cooperation with West African nations.
Youth is a priority, but also our trade agenda, which focuses on startups by and for youth in our own country, but also in developing countries. So I think there's a tremendous entry point for us to work together.
In the coming days,
58 85, President Buhari believes her contributions to the nation will always be remembered, most significantly her unwavering commitment to the grooming of the younger generation, to make education a priority and cultivate virtues of humility, patience and hard work. President Muhammad Buhari says he was profoundly shocked by the death of 19 passengers whose vehicle collided at Gidan Magadi in Kano State over the weekend. In a statement, the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, states that the president